Putin says the nuclear triad is essential to Russia's ambitions to progress militarily. Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday that the further development of Russia's land, sea and air capabilities is an important part of Moscow's efforts to develop its military capabilities. We will continue to develop the military, including new challenges and, of course, important knowledge of the special forces. The most important task here is to form the nuclear triad, Putin told graduates of a military school in the capital Moscow. He said the nuclear triad is an important guarantee of the country's military security and global stability, adding that about half of the country's strategic missile power is already equipped with modern missile systems. Mission Rocket Force and about half of its production are equipped with the latest Yars missile complexes, and the army is re-equipped with modern missile systems with avant-garde hypersonic warheads, said Putin. Noting that the first launchers of the Sarmat ICBM system will also be used for combat in the future, the minister said that the armament of Russia's nuclear triad makes it possible to effectively and reliably ensure the preservation of protection and maintaining the global balance of power. Putin said that weapons, machinery and equipment are useful to Russia's private army in Ukraine and that they will continue to be produced and developed. He also said that the aviation and naval arsenals of the Russian anti-nuclear forces were replenished. We still have a lot of work to do to increase the capabilities of all aspects of the military, and we will complete these plans using our own technology, production and base workers based on the potential growth of the plans. Putin, domestic military-industrial complex organizations and Russian high-tech companies, said. Ukraine promised to restore combat capability. Putin also spoke about the situation on the Ukrainian front, claiming that the Kyiv army is working to restore combatability. Today we see that the offensive is not over. In an interview with Russian journalist Pavel Zarubin, Putin said that he thinks where the enemy is and will retreat. A lot of foreign military equipment in difficult times. Of course there are German Leopards tanks. There are also French military vehicles and American military vehicles. Everything is there, he said. Russia's next-generation Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missiles, capable of carrying 10 or more nuclear warheads, will soon be deployed for combat missions, Russian President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday, and spoke of the importance of the triad of Russia's nuclear forces, which can be launched from land, sea or air to ensure its international stability. About half of the units and formations of the mission missile forces are equipped with the latest Yars, and the army is re-equipped with modern missile systems with pioneering hypersonic warheads. Putin called the first group Sarmat. The launcher will be put into battle in the future. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that the Western collective is really fighting Russia. To commemorate the largest deployment of the Russian army in history, the Kremlin's St. He said last year that Moscow would take under its nuclear umbrella Russian territory in Ukraine now claims to be his. But just last week, Putin said the Ukrainian military has no chance in the current offensive and that Russia does not need to use nuclear weapons. The new Sarmat missile is designed for nuclear attack on thousands of missiles in America or Europe. But its deployment was slower than planned, with Russia saying in April 2022 that it would be in the fall of that year. Roscosmos chief Dmitry Rogozin said at the time that the missile would be sent to the Krasnoyarsk region of Siberia, about 3,000 kilometers, 1,860 miles east of Moscow. Noting that they will be deployed in the same location and silos as the modified Soviet-era Voyevoda missiles, Rogozin praised the new superweapon as a historical phenomenon that will guarantee the safety of the Russian generation for the next 30 to 40 years. Russian officials claimed on Thursday that a Ukrainian missile hit the Dunghar bridge connecting Russian-occupied Crimea and southern Ukraine's Kherson region. RIA Novosti, citing sources from the Department of Transport in Crimea, reported that traffic using the Chungal Bridge, Russian alphabet, should be diverted temporarily. Due to the damage to the Chungal Bridge embankment, traffic was temporarily transferred to the Amyansk and Barakop checkpoints. According to RIA Novosti, the ministry said that these checkpoints are operating normally. The road to the Ukrainian mainland passes through the Crimean Peninsula, which the Russian army uses to transport personnel and equipment. Earlier, Sergei Aksyonov, the elected president of Russia in Crimea, had previously said in Telegram, the Chungar Bridge was hit at night. There was no loss of life. Analysis is currently being done by explosives experts to assess the type of ammunition. Added. On the orders of London, the government of Kyiv said. After making it public on its website. Earlier information revealed that the missiles were used by the United Kingdom's Storm Shadow. Sardo said the apparent attack did not affect the special operation there. Another way. Added that Russia was taking steps to eliminate damage to the bridge. Bridge used by the Russian army to enter Crimea, 2014 annexation of Crimea and mainland Russia.